Greetings, Grove City. My name is Officer Kitko, and this is K9 Max. We're here today at the beautiful Breck Park, dog park here in Grove City. And what we're going to be hopefully discussing is a little bit more about the K9 program here in Grove City, and specifically K9 Max. Now, a lot of people may or may not know what the mission of the Grove City Police Department is. And the mission is to serve and protect all by providing professional law enforcement services in partnership with the community, and that's all of you. Now, the Grove City Police Department has actually put forth a lot of effort in order to combating the opioid epidemic that we're experiencing. So one of the things and the huge tool that we actually have is a canine, and that here is K9 Max, who is a 7-year-old Belgian Malinois. He is looks a lot like a German Shepherd, but he is a Belgian, purebred Belgian. Now, there's some significant differences, even though he looks a lot like a German Shepherd, and I can point some of those factors out to you. Number one is his black mask, which it's normally his chin, and his neck is normally all black, and that's typical of a Belgian. In addition to that, what a major difference is he is as long from his neck to his tail as he is tall. So they kind of consider him a box. So some interesting facts about them is that they walk more up on their knuckles than they do back on their paws, like a German Shepherd would, which actually gives them a great deal of, the ability to be faster and also jump higher. So I will get into a lot of different specifics about the canine and the canine program in particular, but without further ado, I know that there's a lot of questions out there, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to sort through and answer as many of those as we can. Originally, like I said, he was trained overseas in France. He actually competed in the French ring. After he came back and was selected to become a police dog, he was imprinted through Storm Dog Tactical, and that is where he was introduced to police operations, and we do continuous professional training in order to keep him abreast of everything that he can possibly be exposed to. There is a tremendous amount of training that's involved with canines. First of all, we go through professional training through Storm Dog, and that's typically once per week that we do professional training. At home, we reinforce that training each and every single day. So it is a constant process of training, because as police, or just like police officers, we're exposed to many different things, and he also has to be exposed to those so that way he can perform when that time comes, to include anything from going through a sewer to going up into a crawl space or down into a crawl space, to include going up a tree, or finding people in any place where they would want to hide. Of course, we actually use training aids in order to keep Max with the ability in order to sniff out narcotics. A lot of narcotics that are prevalent here in Grove City would be cocaine, crack, heroin is a big one, and marijuana, and also methamphetamine, and all of their derivatives. So training aids are pretty important including synthetic materials that now a lot of criminals or drug dealers are actually mixing in synthetic drugs. So he trains with all of those in order to be able to perform and be certified through the Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy. Well, there's different types of rewards. One can be just verbal praise, good job. Another could be, a pat or petting. Another can be a reward toy. There's many different types of reward toys as well, but Max has been rewarded in all three ways. Yes. Depending on right now, that's all we have is his police identification harness. But Max actually does have a Kevlar vest, just like what police officers would normally wear. So it is protection against small arms fire, and it covers all of his major organs. Yes, actually part of our training, part of our ongoing training is learning how to take care of the dogs. And part of that is medical training or vet training. I ended up going through a class in order to learn how to assist Max until I can get him to professional help. I do carry a first aid kit specifically for him, which actually has different components to it. Including stuff that would actually even settle his stomach if he had an upset stomach. Mostly any critical call that happens within Grove City and surrounding areas. So that's one of the huge advantages of having a canine, is that we're able to help out other agencies as well. But basically anywhere where a canine can be of assistance to help a situation or even prevent additional crimes from happening. So because when a canine is present, typically most criminals, it takes the fight right out of them. So they don't want to fight. They know that they're not going to outrun them, outjump them, outhide them. Canines have the ability to sniff out, and they also, going back to the training, we not only look at, one of the main purposes that we have a dog is because of his nose. Different studies have different levels, but anywhere from hundreds to thousands of times stronger than a human. So that's the main thing, is his ability to sniff out crime. But in addition to that, we also train using his eyes and his ears. So interesting facts is that their eyes, they can see a 225-degree field of vision. So in addition to that, their ears are multi-directional, which means they can face forward, they can turn all the way around to the back of them. So we train using all of their abilities to assist and keep officers safe. Absolutely. Police departments have tried many different ways in order to assist with, the bond that's created between a handler and their canine, which is very significant, by the way. But most police departments have realized that by taking the canine home with you, the bond is created much, much stronger. So yes, he comes home with me. He's with me all the time. One of the first things that you will be trained as a canine handler is that they are not pets. So they really shouldn't be treated like a pet, and that's because they are professionally trained working dogs. So even at home, Max is very, very protective. So it was a tremendous learning curve for me and my family after bringing Max home. And for most handlers, it's a very life-changing experience. You see, cushion. Let me see. Max is first of all, the only canine in Grove City right now. So we do have the ability to be called out to any critical event that would happen within Grove City. So yeah, it's basically he's always on call. Yes, most police departments actually have it written in their policies that the canine would actually be offered to the handler for a nominal amount. And mostly it's because they recognize the bond that's created between handler and canine. Yeah, typically almost all police departments do that. Sure. Max, since he has worked with me for the past little over 5 years now, Max has been deployed within the city and surrounding area just under or just over 1,250 times. Among those deployments, he's assisted many departments, including our own, with the capture or arrest of just under 600 different individuals. Canines are actually worth their weight in gold, so they really are. They perform a lot of different tasks. They are extremely loyal, and they prevent a lot of crime from happening just by being out in the high crime areas. You know, one of the things that combating the opioid epidemic that we're experiencing, not only here in Grove City, but across the nation, the main thing is that if you see something, say something. There are many different programs, and Franklin County has one of the better programs in the nation when it comes to trying to help people combat their addictions. So one of the things that we would like to do is just remind people of that and make sure that, in partnership with our community, we want you, if you see something, say something. We don't want you to put yourselves at risk. Let that, call us and let us handle that situation. And you can be confident that we will handle it professionally.